Thanks. Yeah, good afternoon all, and thanks for being here to listen to our story. So, Blackham Resources is one of the newer gold producers in Western Australia. We're at the top end of the Kalgoorlie-Norseman Gold Belt, which is the most prolific gold belt in Australia. We have had a slow ramp up in production last year, which put us into a bit of a financial situation towards the end of last year. We recapitalised the company and have had a fairly good run in delivering results in last quarter and certainly through this quarter and going forward. Our market cap's about, the current share price is about $90 million. We produced 20,000 or so ounces last quarter at about a 848 US or 1,092 Aussie all-in sustaining costs. Our guidance is that we'll continue at about that rate this quarter, and going forward we expect that our current minimum run rate is about 80,000 ounces annualised at about 1,100 to 1,200 US dollars, Aussie dollars an ounce, which essentially generates, depending on the gold price, of course, $30 to $40 million of operating cash flow a year. As I said, we're at the top end of the Norseman Wiluna Kalgoorlie Gold Belt. Jundee Gold Mine, Northern Star, is about 40 kilometres away. Bronzewing is just south. So Wiluna, Jundee, Bronzewing were all mining centres that were owned by Newmont, and all three were divested over time. We've, in the last 6 years, finally in history consolidated all of the northern end of that belt into one ownership. There's multiple geological systems, quite a lot of sunk capital, both in underground mines and surface infrastructure, and we're now putting our mines to unlocking the full value of that 6.5 million ounce JORC resource, 65 million tonnes at 3.1 grams. The current plant that we've refurbished is a free milling circuit. It's processing about 1.8 million tonne annualised, and it's actually running at about 2 million at the moment. And our main centre of operation is where that red box is. That's where the process plant is. All of our other operating activities are within 20 kilometres of that. Our current operating mine is the Matilda Gold Mine down at the bottom there, and there's a small underground high-grade quartz reef mine operating up at where the Wiluna plant is. Basically, we're mining off infrastructure that was developed over the last 20 years. Quite a lot of level development and declines, and we have a gas power at the site. We have good water supply, fresh water, and very good roads, sealed roads to the mine, and airstrip nearby as well. So it's a well-established mining centre and well-serviced. That's our current open cut mine that we're mining. We'll be finished here in the next 12 months or so, and we'll be transitioning from here to the Wiluna area where the process plant is, where there's probably another couple of years of reserves we're defining now for the free milling circuit, and then we'll be looking to move from there to the Lake Way area, which we're currently starting to drill. We've got 3 rigs drilling on site at the moment. One's underground, one's up at the Wiluna area where the current process plant is operating, and there's one down south in our Lake Way area, which is a large geological system where Newmont did a lot of work on 20 years ago. However, they haven't finished their work, and we're just going through and drilling that out now. Essentially, just a picture of the underground mine. That's a small-scale quartz reef, typical quartz reef mine, free milling ore. We've got some air leg miners mining in there. We've actually perfected that now. We've got a rolling mine plan going out to the end of this year. We've got a rig underground at the moment drilling, and we'll see that extend out beyond 12 months, and we'll just continue to roll that out and hopefully increase the volume from about 12,000 ounces that we're getting out of there to maybe 25,000 or so as we develop that system over the next year. So the whole focus of the company now is to retire debt, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And we're on a forced repayment debt schedule that we've imposed on ourselves. We're going to have most of our debt repaid by November this year. We started the year in December this year with net debt of 50 million. We're currently at 10, cash of 25, and total debt of about 35. And the focus now is to take our geological inventory that we have and turn that to account and deliver a better 5-year solid mine plan and reserve to feed the current free milling plant. And that's sort of the areas that we're focusing on around the current mining area at Matilda, around that Wiluna area where the process plant is, where we're converting some of the resources that we have into our free milling reserves. There'll be news flow for that in the next couple of quarters. We're also working on the tailings dam, which has proved to be quite a boon. There's 37 million tonnes there, or 0.7 grams. We've done all the metallurgical work. We're doing the feasibility study now. We're drilling it out. We're going to end up with we're looking at targeting about $10 processing cost to just basically repulp this material, put it through a leach tank, and we're getting about 45% recovery. That potentially will give us 250 to 300,000 ounces of reserves right next to the process plant, which doesn't need to be milled at all. It just needs to be put through into the current tanks, or we can expand the tanks and put that through as well. That's the underground mine. We've got drilling underneath the current mining area. We're drilling up at top as well, and then extensions on the other side of the large sulfide system. A lot of development here. This is just one of the portals that we have and declines in this large sulfide system at Wiluna. This is the Bulletin area. And these quartz reefs that run into these vertical structures are free milling, and the sulfide systems they run into are refractory. So a large portion of our resource base is refractory. We haven't recommissioned the refractory plant yet. That's the next stage of our development. That's sort of a map of where the process plant is, the tailings area that I was talking about that we're working on, and then we're drilling out the surface resources and the free milling resources on top of these large systems. Now, we did a lot of drilling last year. We're just completing that, and we'll have a mine plan for that in the next 3 to 4 months. That's some of the recent drilling we've done in between these large sulfide ore bodies where the circle is. They actually cut across the structures, so they weren't picked up in the drilling because we were drilling, obviously, these north-south structures. The cross-cutting structures were only found recently, and they're all quite big, free milling, and they're going to go straight into the plant once we've finished our work. This is the larger volume new area. There's a small mine here that was mined by Newmont, about 70,000 ounces mined so far. There's 2 2-kilometre long structures, Williams structure, the Carol Prior structure, drilled with air core. A few diamond holes in them. We're now going through, and in fact there's a rig there now, scoping that area out to provide some immediate feed to the current plant, but also to scope the whole system out, both structures, and that'll take probably a couple of years of work, but we should get some good resources and reserves conversion in that over the next couple of years. That's the old pit. There was a small pit mine there. We're drilling below it. We're drilling along strike. That's at the sort of northern end of that easterly structure that we're focusing on at the moment. I won't go through that. I'll just go to this. This is sort of the future of the company. Stage 1 I've just talked about, tidying all that up. Stage 2 is once we get to the end of this year, we retire all of our debt, put some cash in the bank. We'll be then finishing off a feasibility study that we started last year, which needs another probably 4 to 6 months of work. And then by the middle of next year, we'll be looking to expand our production by recommissioning and adding a parallel circuit to feed our BIOX plant, adding another 130,000 ounces of annualised production. So to take the whole site to about 200,000 ounces, which will sort of make us one of the top 15 gold producers in Australia. In the pamphlets that were handed out, they'll just show you the scale of this system. This is the underground deposit below one of the large pits that we'll be mining. Only down to 500 metres, level development Newmont put in, hasn't been drilled yet, but that's all in all. 2 million ounces in those stope optimizers, which are currently not in the reserves that we're working on at the moment. So that's us. If you really would like to any more, I'm around for the rest of the day. Happy to talk to anybody, and thanks for your time.